Hi everyone, it's Chaitni, your wellness coach. In this week's video, I talk about intuitive eating. So what exactly is intuitive eating and how you can make it a part of your life. So dieting is a short-term and pretty unhealthy solution. So if you're looking for long-term lifestyle changes, then intuitive eating is something that you want to consider. You want to develop healthy habits that will sustain you through all of life's transitions and seasons. And you can only make these habits a priority and you can only make them last long if you have a good relationship with your body as well as a good relationship with the food you eat. So that is why I want to talk about intuitive eating today. So what exactly is intuitive eating? It is multi-layered. There just isn't one definition for it. It has multiple aspects to it. The most important part is it's the exact opposite of being on a diet. So it really shuns the diet culture. It really focuses on, as I mentioned earlier, having a good relationship with your body, knowing what your body needs, knowing what it wants, and giving it what it wants without feeling guilty, ashamed, or judgmental. It's also about having a really good relationship with the food you eat. You know, not beating yourself up for having that scoop of ice cream or enjoying the brownie sundae that you had. So that is really what intuitive eating is about. It's the exact opposite of dieting. So with that said, let me share 5 tips that can help you incorporate intuitive eating into your life. So tip number 1 is really understand your body's cues and needs. So for instance, when you're hungry, what signs is your body sending you? Is your stomach growling? Are you getting irritable? Do you get hangry? I definitely get hangry. Are you getting lightheaded? Do you feel tired? Are you feeling dizzy? What are those signs? Really tune into your body and your body's needs as well as the cues that it's sending you so you know when you're hungry instead of just eating whenever you want to eat or whenever you think you should eat. And these same cues and needs apply for after you're done eating or while you're eating. Start to figure out when you are getting full. You don't need to finish every single thing on your plate. I know at first that may happen, or at first you may end up throwing out some of that food. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the long term, but really get to know how much food your body actually needs to feel full. That way you stop overstuffing and you stop overeating. So the goal here is becoming one with your body. Your body is not separate from your mind. Your body is not separate from your entire digestive system. So start to look at it as the whole concept that it really is. So that's tip number 1. Now, tip number 2 is be careful of how you talk to the food you eat and how you talk to yourself. So what I mean by that is that negative talk and that negative energy can be very harmful. It can lead to some pretty dangerous circumstances. So enjoy what you're eating. You don't need to should on yourself. You don't need to have a salad if you don't want to have a salad. If you want to have that scoop of ice cream, go ahead and have it. But don't put that pressure on yourself that, all right, I've had the ice cream, so tomorrow I'm going to skip lunch to make up for it, or I'm going to spend 2 hours in the gym. No, what you're enjoying, enjoy in the moment. Enjoy it guilt-free. There doesn't need to be any shame, any judgment, or even any punishment associated with it. So that is extremely important. It's also about body positivity. You have to learn to love your body through all of its cravings and through everything that it consumes. Tip number 3 is be in the game for the long haul. So that pretty much just means is it's time to say bye-bye to the diet mentality. That's just not going to work. Instead, get to know your body. Again, it's all about getting to know your body. Get to know your body, get to know what it wants, get to know what it needs, and start to give it that. So just because everybody else talks about how quinoa is really healthy, or broccoli is the way to go, you don't need to consume it. You know, figure out what you like of all the healthy foods out there, and there's so much out there. There's so much variety. Make a list of all the healthy foods that you enjoy. Then start to do a little bit of research, start to experiment, and figure out in what form do you like to eat those foods. You know, you may not like to have sauteed broccoli, but you may love broccoli soup, and that's okay. You may not like just quinoa with dressing, but you may like it in a Buddha bowl. So get creative, start to experiment, give yourself a chance, but first and foremost, and most importantly, really understand what you like. You don't need to do what everybody else is doing, but you do need to put in the time and energy to figure out what you enjoy and then make it a part of your life. Tip number 4 is you need to find healthy coping mechanisms besides food. So make a list of your self-care activities or whatever you like to do that can substitute your need for food. So if food provides you with any kind of comfort when you're stressed, lonely, bored, you know, whatever the emotion may be, find something else. Find that substitute, find that replacement that's going to consistently be a part of your life. That's the key. You don't want to find something that you just do for a week and then you go back to your old ways. And again, here, do what you want to do. You don't need to do what everybody else is doing. You know, just because the world promotes yoga and the world promotes meditation, you don't need to do that. If your go-to thing is kickboxing, if it's cleaning, if it's video gaming, then that's what you do. Figure out what your self-care activity is and make it a part of your routine. And then tip number 5 is do not forget about movement. So intuitive eating is not, you know, just eat whatever you want and let your body go. That's not what it's about. It's really about connecting with your body, developing a loving relationship with your body, and changing your habits accordingly. So one of the ways that you love your body is through movement. So you have to figure out, again, what kind of movement do you enjoy? You know, you don't need to do that really painful HIIT workout. Some people love pumping iron. Let them do that. You figure out what you like. You know, maybe you like to go on a walk. Maybe you like to dance. Maybe you like to do yoga. Whatever form it is, whatever kind of movement it is, make it intentional and choose something that can be a part of your life day in and day out. That's always the most important. I can't stress that enough. That consistency has to be there. Otherwise, you're going to do it short term and then you're going to go back to what you used to do. It's the same concept with a diet, right? That consistency isn't there. You do the diet for a short while and then you're back to your old habits. So we don't want the same thing happening with movement. So the beauty about intuitive eating is it's really something that can last long term. It's sustainable. It really teaches you to have a healthy relationship with your body and a healthy relationship with food. Really teaches you to love your body, to have that body positivity, and come from a place of no judgment, which is extremely important when you're trying to make any kind of change or when you're trying to sustain any kind of habit. You know, intuitive eating really helps you stop obsessing over the diet culture. It really leaves you feeling empowered so you can make the choices that are best for you. You know, those choices are based on your research. The choices are based on your understanding of your body and your needs. So it truly is a very empowering way of living your life. You know, intuitive eating may or may not result in weight loss, but that is not the goal. The goal really is to feel happy and to feel healthy. And what you'll notice is when you do embrace intuitive eating and it becomes a part of your life, it doesn't just have an impact on the food you eat or how you feel about your body, but it really has a ripple effect on everything else. So if you experience high stress, or if you experience self-doubt, or if you have low confidence, whatever those issues are outside of your health, especially your relationship with food and your body, you will start to see an improvement even in those areas. And that is where it becomes magical. You will automatically start to feel more energetic. You will procrastinate less. You will start to feel good in your body, and you'll actually want to make even more healthy changes. So that's the beauty of intuitive eating. Let me just quickly wrap up the 5 tips that I shared with you. So number 1 is understanding your body's cues and needs. Number 2 is no negative self-talk. Number 3 is say bye-bye to the diet culture. Number 4 is find healthy coping mechanisms. And then number 5 is make movement a part of your routine. So intuitive eating is really motherlode of a concept. It may seem like that, but it's actually not that complex. It just takes really starting to understand what your body needs and what it wants. So I hope some of this resonated with you. If you have any questions or need any clarifications when it comes to intuitive eating, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer them. If you want to learn more about what I do for my clients and how I work with them, check out my website. It's www.imperfectbodies.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for making your health a priority by listening to this video. I will catch you here next week. In the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic week.